part, maybe it's about like festival spirit. I think we covered part of it last time by talking about setting the festival office, organizing the atmosphere and events, but we'll put a bit more focus on that today. And then we'll talk about also activities between the festivals and how you can promote the festival during the year and how to use festival, how to make it a brand with which you can build on other activities. And first, how to create a festival feeling. I guess by saying just we have a festival, you didn't do much. So first thing is setting up a festival center. As I told you last time, we always moved our office to Kino Dvor a week before. We kind of took it over. You will probably know how Kino Dvor looks during the year, so I brought you some examples of like how we decorated it. This was the poster, and what we did all over the place was like the author. This was Matti Hagerberg, the author of the poster. When he came to the festival, he first brought a test to draw on the windows the images connected to the poster. So then we had, this was this giant man with cloud here. On the entrance we had the detail from the poster. So already when you entered to the room, you have a feeling that something has completely changed, that something is happening in the cinema. So already by visual image, you let people that come to the cinema, maybe not even to come to Animatica, but to come to drink, you let them know that something is happening. So this is another year. This was the poster. We built this girl from the poster, and again, everything was decorated in this. This was the last one. Sorry. That's the one that I'll present you later, and again we see a lot of images. This was the poster, and we did a lot of details, and also trailer and everything, but I will show you that a bit later. So, if we return, first of course, as you could see, is the decoration part. You have to already visually, if you have more venues, the basic thing that you can do is put posters on and make sure that catalogs are by the entrance, so that people that come randomly to the location, you catch their attention and let them know that something is going on. And then, not just the decoration, but every details, from invitations to food coupons to tickets, if you have a possibility to print something like the visual message of your... the team always wore t-shirts, we had badges, we were branded all over with some of these things, as you will see, are really low-cost details. It's like printing on the computer or preparing stuff. It doesn't take a lot of money, it takes some time, but it's, adding these things together, you make an atmosphere. So the functions of festival for the guests, of course, that's a meeting point where they can hang, not just see the program, but just sit down and maybe not do anything, or maybe set up meetings sometimes. Okay, so info point, of course, also for the audiences, if you have a central point, you know that they know you can they buy tickets, maybe they catch some discussions with the authors, they might, feel, if they know, okay, these are the authors of the film that I really like, and I have to say that there's a huge difference between, let's say, Slovenian filmmakers, which are very distant from the audiences, while animators are really open, and it's not a problem for people to just... I think it's also foreign authors, they are more open than here in Slovenia, or maybe we have more distance to our celebrities. So it's really, sometimes, in our case, a lot of young animators who are trying to do their first second of animation, they could just randomly start talking with the animator and get some useful information, talk to about the school system abroad. Maybe they were thinking about going studying somewhere. So it was a really, really important thing to offer a place where you didn't have to drink anything, you could just hang around. And there was one little detail that we did, I think 4 years ago, the first time. On each table we attached a sketchbook. So people could like draw in, write souvenirs, thoughts and pictures, which was also, after a while people got used to just looking through it. Oh, you draw this, I do that, drawing together. So it's like it was a really nice element of connecting people. As we talked last time, offering free internet, maybe even computers, but today everybody has. So one of the things we also had established at the Kimond board was this, we had a pyramid of sponsors, and we took care that when we had discussions where media came to have an interview with some author, we would put them in the corner to make sure, again, to ensure visibility of the people that enabled us to make a festival. Just one poster probably from the catalog, just logos on it and maybe some decoration, so it's not so strictly a nice corner where people can sit down and take pictures, talk. Maybe it's moved away a bit so it's not so noisy, they are recording interview or something. As I said, with the decoration you let the guests know already when they arrive that there's special feeling, and there are also some other things that you can do that with. So if you go to some examples how we at Animatica tried to foster that, and then maybe City of Women just shortly, because it's quite similar, there's just some different things maybe. So I think formal are of course so-called Meet the Filmmakers, which are happening every morning after, you have film in the evening, in the morning you have discussion. So audiences can come, can ask you questions. Of course we have a possibility of Q&A if there's just one author. We don't do that, or it's a retrospective or something. We don't do that at the competition program. At the competition program it's basically just letting people know that the authors are also in the audience. They usually stand up, we greet them, people maybe give short applause to the authors. But the next day they have the talk. Each of them can present the process of the film. It's road around the festivals. People can ask about technique, about where the idea from, why did you decide for. It's 2 hours slot, and we had quite a nice turnout to these events. Of course, majority of the audience was other guests of the festival and students of animation or animators from Slovenia, but also a lot of people that are not necessarily directly animators or related to that came to hear this. And then another thing we had was at 12 we had, at 10 we had breakfast. So that was represent topics about the animation, about the festival that were connected with it. So these were 2 formal platforms. Then the more informal, of course the formal ones are also the openings and the side events that usually at the beginning are quite formal. You have the protocol, you have the speech, you have maybe people from the embassies or from funders coming also to make a short introduction. If you have, a Spanish artist opening an exhibition, of course, if the embassy supports that exhibition, the protocol. But of course, with this event, in the end, they all turn more into an informal opportunity to mix. And a lot of time, we had 1 year, each year an after party in Metelkova, And I know that to the guests of the festival, this is one of the important things of the festival, that they know that there's, okay, we were watching films, we have to be here and there, but in the end we have time to party because it's a lot of young people coming to the festival. They want to feel the atmosphere of the city and just to relax. And there are some people that really became friends, made projects together because of the time they spent together at the festival. So for us it's really important, when people say, yeah, we did this because we met, 3 years ago at Animatica and we talked about ideas, we saw that maybe we could do something together. So it's quite useful. Also, okay, just hanging around the place. Another informal element is the coupons for food. If you have 3 locations where people can go to eat for free, even if they go alone, a lot of time you meet other guests of the festival there, and just by accident, sit down, talk, start. So it's again a way of mixing them and introducing them to each other. 1 year, I don't know if I mentioned that, 1 year we decided to make a 1-day break in the film program, and we took all the guests on the bus to a 1-day trip to Slovenian coast. So it was a really, really nice day that we spent. Maybe not so much for us, the organizers, because we were checking the clock all the time, but it was we took them to Izola, showed them where the open air partner festival is going on, and then we took them to eat some really home Slovenian food, and we really enjoyed it a lot. And it was kind of a bonding experience for all of us. From then on, it was completely different, to talk with them, to ask and discuss some questions with them. It's different, because maybe during the festival the team didn't have time, or during the day you're responding emails, you all said that you were working other jobs. That you are working other jobs during the day, so I guess daytime is really not you can't mingle with people so much. So in this informal platform, you can talk to the guests, you can maybe not just talk about the festival, the film, but meet them as people. And I think that's an important part of their experience of the festival. If you ask me, a very large part of who makes at Animatica people feel welcome are volunteers who are in the hospitality. Because we said before, they have to be there all day, and there are people that want to meet new people and have the energy to party with them to 5 in the morning and show them around the city, just hang out with them if they're interested. So they feel really welcome. They get a lot of information, also maybe not directly connected to the festival. So you asked me, I don't know if we have people that are responsible for accompanying a certain author. We don't, but we have, let's say, 6 people that are handling 100 guests. So they're mingling with them. In City of Women, there's another thing. They have 2 or 3, it depends how the authors are arriving and leaving, official lunches. They take them out for lunch. And also this evening, a lot of program is happening in the evening. So afterwards, there's usually an official after program, a bar or something when we go with the authors after the festival. So this can be really, really exhausting for the crew, for the team. Because of course you can't sleep till the first projection, even if you don't work in another daytime job, as in your case. I had to be at the office at 9 to arrange, the payment of the bills. Sometimes I even had to make an application for, for the next year or stuff like that. So I had to work next morning. and be with the guests and don't be a snob and go, oh, it's mine, I have to remember stuff like that. Of course, I don't know how you, if you do you manage to see any of the film program at your festival?
Most.
Well, my record was, I think, 4 shorts in one festival edition, because in the end I just gave up. Because each time I would go inside, it was either they would come and, you know, I will need something for you, or I realized that even if I'm there and watching the screen, there's 3,000 things going on in my mind. So usually the downside of organizing a festival is that program-wise you don't get a lot of it. So what we usually did was like have a special screening after the festival, like of the selected ones. Part of the festival spirit, if this was like the part of connected with the film program and with the location, I would say also the side events are those who add up to the festival spirit. So it's you have to choose really carefully the events that you add to the festival. As we already said, firstly because you don't want like to make your film program disappear in the amount of the events that you add, the side events. And you don't want to lose the topic of the film, so when you're choosing side events, you really have to be careful about the topic, about the contents that you add to your program. So okay, maybe you have like only it's a migrant film, or maybe you have a special topic within the field that you want to like talk about in the certain edition. So make sure that the program, the contents that you add are not just thrown in, oh, we like that show, we like that we like that book, let's present it, you know, just make sure that it goes with it. In Animatica, I think sometimes we were not completely successful about that, but it was always about using the people that already came to the festival. And if we knew that, I don't know, this animator is also a great graphic novelist, and we would have the possibility to offer an exhibition, of course we would use it because he was already there, he was willing to, you know, have an exhibition, so we would add to it. Then a lot of times we had, I don't know, for example, we had a musician, a guy who was working on a music on the film coming to the festival, and he was willing to make a concert. Of course, we needed like informal program in the evening, but then we connected him with students in Ljubljana, and actually we produced animation, visual backgrounds for his music, and we produced like new content and gave our animators the opportunity to present themselves to Slovenian audiences and also to the authors that came to the festival. One year we had a concert with Catalina, and again we would invite Slovenian authors to choose their songs, and we made an audiovisual concert. So always try to, even if we were producing new contents, to build on like the people that were already there, committed to the festival, somehow to incorporate. And also one year we had this really interesting project by Solveig Kleis. She was making animation. She basically, what she did was she drew graffiti all over the wall, and then by taking pictures of part of it, she would like create an animation in this part. So we had in Moderna Galeria, I mean, she was the jury member, for example. So she was already in Ljubljana, and we used her to add another value to some content to the festival.
Does Animatica have just one person who is responsible for the site?
Yeah, at first it was just me, like the producer, and like from program perspective it was Igor, and organizing the technical aspect and stuff it was me. But the last year there was just one person, because we had every day basically we would have like an opening of the exhibition or a concert that was after or besides the program. But the problem with us was that we had again so many slots, so many things that we would a lot of times have to like people, get them out of the hall and let's go, we have a concert starting in 10 minutes. So again, it was really important. Okay, we were in Keynote Hall, so we had the venue in Bunker. It was really walking distance. But sometimes when we would be in Tivoli, for example, in Magaleca, it was quite, we had to organize taxi service and get everybody there because it was, screening till 7:30 and at 8 we would have an opening. So we had to work fast and it was an extra activity for us to organize all the people to move because if we wouldn't, people would just, they felt cozy in the keynote hall, they would have a drink and relax a bit and we would have like an empty gallery or, the guests of the festival wouldn't see the work of the colleague that is there. So you sometimes have to also think about that and organize for them to move.
So you organized
we ordered like 10 taxis.
really, not just, this is not like the people who are working on the festivals and the authors?
No, the guests of the festival, but we had like, 80, 90 people that we had to transfer. So, we couldn't do it with just our festival cars because it would take for ages to go back and forth. So, we had to, there was, the way back it was not a problem, but we had to get them there really quick. So we had to organize that. We said topic people using the people that you already have at your disposal. It was usually either like young Slovenian authors that were, in a way, we gave them opportunity to present them, so it was not that expensive for us, or we were using people that would already come and kind of negotiate the price maybe for the program. So in a way it was rounded up, but sometimes it cost us the price of letting people read and just hang out because we had too much things. 2 venues of screenings and like each evening something happening. So there were complaints that maybe we should just like leave some evenings just to hang out, talk, and not have a program planned for them. So it's good to be careful to not to smother people with too much program. Okay, so side events. Why? Of course, as I said, we were. Why? Why? Of course, to use the people that come because they're doing wonderful things and you want to show people the things they do, you want to offer more. But sometimes it's like the experts that that will come to Ljubljana only once, or maybe they have been here and it's an opportunity to offer. Like we did master classes with some of the authors because we knew that there's no study of animation here in Slovenia, so this for them was an opportunity to work with the professor, with the professional that they would never have otherwise. So it kind of, our mission is to promote animation, to help with education, of course, if you have a person like that, you have to use them. Okay?
One question regarding the master classes. Okay, how intensive or how in depth should the program be with such, let's say, author?
We had different forms. We had like 2-day weekend, like 2 times 8 hours. We also had with Famous Tour, the last year we had Rasko Čilić, he's a Serbian author, and he usually comes like 2 weeks before Animateka. And they have almost 3 weeks long masterclass. So it's in partnership. There are partners, so we cover, we share costs. And it's really, he has this like whole, really rounded up, not just some short masterclass. Also with children, we had workshops that were festival long, so it was 9 days, and we would show the result at the end of the festival. And we had also weekend workshops for children who could just come for 2-3 hours just to learn the basics, principles of how to make animation. So it depends. It depends on the authors, it depends who you're targeting, because of course some amateurs probably wouldn't find time to be at the workshop for 3 weeks, but if that's students and you know that they study animation but there are certain contents that the school can't afford, and in this way you can put an extra value on it, of course people will come. And we usually then, of course, we had a deal, we offer them also accreditation for the festival, so they could see a lot of the films to, to offer them education, to work a lot, to talk, to bring them to the festival again, to make sure that they meet the authors, they talk about options of going studying abroad, of co-productions and stuff like that. So. Also, reason for side events, of course, I think for us quite an important reason was fundraising, because as I said at the beginning, in Slovenia on the city level there's no possibility to get money for film program. There was once this call for like festival programs, but it was just once. And so we said, okay, we have to, we can apply with side events. And then in a way you have to meet the criteria for the calls, and you have to expand, and you have to produce. So, you could in a way maybe cover part of, I don't know, my work with from the budget of side events, but then again, sometimes you would have more work and you have to balance. Is it worth for, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 euros to make an extra exhibition? If it's not really well, fitted with the program, sometimes that's like the decision that should be taken into consideration, not to just force program, we can apply this there, and then you have an eclectic mixture and you maybe lose the focus of the festival. So maybe it's good to Okay, so of course then it's competition. It's a way to differentiate from other festivals. We have other film festivals. We used to have also, I don't know, there was an animation film festival in Kamnik, there was one in Nova Gorica, but from at the beginning, like in 2004 when the festival started, it was 2003, sorry, it was the stress on the education, the fact that a lot of people from abroad, the fact that we offered lectures, discussions about animation, it was what made the difference between Animateca and other festivals. Because it offered more, it offered contact that others maybe didn't. But also, for example, if we think about LIF, they have a lot of guests at the festival too, but outside the official talks with the authors, you basically don't have the opportunity to meet them, to talk to them. And I guess this homey atmosphere is also something that is really typical and important for Animateca. Okay, so we already kind of covered how much of them. Don't overdo it. Don't smother people and yourself with too much program, because as I said, there was one person that was basically doing just side events. There was a setting up of exhibition. Then the next day you had to put up had a technical rehearsal for the concert. You had visuals at the concert, and the next day again it's something else. So a part of the team also has to, take cover of that. And content relevancy and balance, of course, in terms of are we a film festival or are we an interdisciplinary festival, because we kind of cover everything. Okay, so other events. Basically, during the year, but if we look in the circle, some of them are announcing the festival while others are echoing the festival. So first question, of course, is do we have resources to do this kind of events? do we have not just money but also people that can make sure that this festival happen, these events happen. Because in our case, we developed a quite good model. There's a project called Animateca po Animateki, Animateca after Animateca, and we always present the winners of the festival, the best films, like special mentions of the jury and the awarded films in a rounded program, and it's basically like decentralization and promotion of the festival outside of Ljubljana. We go to youth centers and cultural like homes and galleries or some cultural centers in smaller cities. So we've basically been, I don't know, from Novo Mesto to Koper to Nova Gorica, and on the other hand to Murska Sobota, for example. We always seize this opportunity to, of course, promote the festival, but always also give a lecture about animation in Slovenia or in general, and somehow to maybe connect with some local people, again, to open a channel to bring some more like profitable activities of what we do. As I said, part of our funding comes from doing workshops at school. A lot of times, like teachers or people connected with schools would come to this kind of event because they are interested. They come to the program that is like not usual in their local community, and you set up a meeting that opens you some doors later. So for us, it's this Animateca for Animateca is basically cost of petrol of going there, because we did them for free. It was like a volunteer project for us. But we knew that this promotion is really important. Sometimes the people that we work with could cover our costs of coming there. Sometimes we would say, okay, we understand your position, you can't pay, but we will come anyway. Because sometimes we also arranged that we could sell books that we published, maybe some DVD, bring part of the festival boutique with us, and we would, maybe sometimes cover costs of the petrol by selling 2 books and a DVD or something like that. So, and about the screening fees, for the competition films, we have the authors sign that, if they want to apply, they agree with the fact that we can use for 1 year their films free of screening fee for promotional use, for promotion of our festival. We explain that, okay, for us, being able to show your films, we are not making money from them. We let them know that very clearly. It's not a profitable activity, but it's a promotion of animation of our festival, and we usually don't have. They can either say, yes, I allow, or no, I don't allow. They can choose. It's not like if you want to enter a competition, you have to allow it. But maybe with, I don't know, if we get 1,000 films applying for the competition, there would be maybe 10 most that say, no, I don't allow it. So it's usually from like big companies or something like that. So, as I said, some of the things can be done basically with no costs if you think ahead. And sometimes even if you have costs, and you think about them in before they come up, you could do like when you're printing materials for the festival, maybe you can make a leaflet, a flyer, and include it in the package, and it would be cheaper to print it when you are doing a package for the festival than to do it separately, or at least negotiate with the printing house to, okay, we get a special discount on the amount of the things that are getting printed, because we would also like to include a card for the event that we have only in September. So, or maybe if you have a film, you want to make a special screening before New Year. We have a special screening to remind people about the festival, like a gesture or something. make sure that when you are arranging screening fees, you make a double bill, you get lower price and stuff like that. So sometimes with thinking ahead, you can lower the costs very much. And also about the brand of the festival. Sometimes I think in your case it's a bit, is it the festival, the brand, or is it the companies that are making it, you know? Which is the one that you want to build on? But I think that you can either use your festival as a brand to promote other events, or use other events to build the brand of the festival all year long. It would be a bit different strategy. If you have like building the brand through the year, of course you would choose like a highlighted events and names that would bring, and topics that would bring attention of the audiences, and always let them know, yeah, this is the FUMAFA doing for you. So that people hear and start relating your festival with the contents that attract their attention. You know, oh, this is also organized by them. Oh, the festival. Oh, well, it's really good. So when is this festival? People will start, you know, connecting the festival with good contents. And if it's already a brand, then of course, because of the brand, you will bring the attention of people, even if you're offering a program that maybe, or the author that maybe is not so well known, that maybe, because they know you are a brand, you offer quality program, that is why they will say, okay, let's see, it's probably interesting if they are offering us this content. And it doesn't only have to be film, it can be a round table, it can be a discussion, it can be, I don't know, some kind of promotional activity. But I think that this is quite a good way of, because we started with, Sloan first was just part of the program of the festival. It was a program dedicated to children. But now, Elephant Sloan program is basically a separate activity that just comes together with the festival during the festival time. Because schools know more about Elephant than they know about Animatica, because they are the target audiences. And also with partnership with Tsitsiman, each year we would publish a DVD with shorts for children. They would have a line for parents to help them to talk with children about the animation, about the topics they bring in. So it's basically this kind of products that bring attention to Elephant that grew as a brand and is now a really strong and separate activity. So maybe it's something that you can maybe not so primarily linked to the festival, use during the year to build on the image and to become more well known, to attract more people, to bring more audiences to the festival. We get an image that we work on, that all the materials are done. I already made down here the t-shirts that are like one of the goodies that we made for the festival. Each festival gets a bag with a catalog, with a badge, with the program sheets, and with the materials. We also usually give them this DVD from last year with the films that we put out. So then we had a lot of t-shirts going on, and I will show you there were even more ideas. This is just a selection. We also had some other designs that we can see in the end. So.